Okay guys, so today I'm going to do a demonstration on how to tie a rope halter properly. Bugsy's got on her blue Clinton Anderson rope halter. Personally, I like the Clinton Anderson ones simply because the end doesn't have a metal piece on it. It's just soldered or burnt so that the nylon sticks to itself and it shouldn't fray. The metal ones, the problem with those is if they actually poke the horse in the eye, they can cause either just minor damage to the eye or they can cause permanent blindness, which is never anything you want out of your horse. I also enjoy the knots on the nose just because if I give her just a little bit of a pressure, see how I just barely picked up? She knows exactly what I'm asking for her. Just a little pick up, and she brings her head over. Now I'm not asking for very much here. But so that's just my personal preference. Now I see a lot of people when they tie these rope halters that they tie them incorrectly. And the common way that people like to tie rope halters is they like to go up and around this top crown piece. Get your mane out of here. So this knot up here, the loop is there where my finger is, and the knot's above it. You don't want that because what that does is it'll just continuously slip until now you've got a fairly loose halter on a horse. You don't want that. So what you're going to do, I'm just going to drape my rope over my arm. I don't really need it, but just in case she decides that she wants to get a little excited. All I do is I hold onto the loop and pinch the rope so it doesn't move. But I usually do this with my left hand. So I'll take my slack and I'll go back towards her hip, come forward behind the loop towards her eye, and then I'll go through the loop I just made and pull tight, and that makes a sheep bend knot. And what a sheep bend knot is meant to do is it's meant to combine two ropes together. It's a very sturdy knot, and no matter how tight this knot gets, as long as I take the crown piece and this knot here and pinch it together, this loop I can push down. Here, Bugs, turn your head this way. So if I push down on this loop, this will always loosen up. And when I always finish my knot, I put, Bugs, turn your head, I always put the extra in her cheek piece. Another thing that I see a lot of people do, it's not as common as the other one, but I'll see them do a slip knot, which is kind of difficult to do. So now you have this piece pointed towards the horse's eye. You don't want that. Turn your head, Bugs. See? You've got the slip knot in the back and this pointing at the horse's eye. And even if the slip knot is forward, it's still going to bother them a little bit because now they have something. I'm sorry, am I bothering you? They're still going to see something, and some horses don't like that. Also, if you tie the knot up here at the top of the crown piece above the loop, it can tighten so much that you'll never get it undone and you'll have to cut your rope halter. And a lot of people buy rope halters because they know that they will last a long time. You will never be able to break a rope halter, or you really shouldn't be able to, unless you've like cut it and made it weak. But for the most part, a rope halter, if it stays just like this without any cuts in it, it shouldn't ever break. Some people don't like that because they want their horse to be able to break away. I don't like that because then that teaches a horse to pull. Hi, sweetie. But so when you, the only thing that will loosen up over time are these knots that bind the rope halter into a rope halter shape, or into just a halter shape. Those can loosen a bit, but it's not going to do very much difference to your rope halter unless you have one that's already too big for your horse. Also, if you want to make these rope halters a little bit softer, like this one's still pretty firm, which I like them firm. It doesn't hold like its exact position, which is not desired. It does fall over, I should say, if I were to hold this up just on its own. But it is still stiff enough to where I can do training with her without her basically just having like a sheet around her head. I don't know. But if you do want to make it a little bit softer because it is too too rough, then you can stick it in a dryer with those little cling-free sheets, and it'll actually soften this up. So I'll show you guys one more time how to tie the rope. I'm not asking you to put your head down, chick. That's not what that cue was. So, and we're going to start this all the way from the beginning. So I've got my slack here, and the loop should sit with the eye open on her neck, or on her cheek kind of area. So you're going to take it and you're going to go behind the loop. You don't want to go over the loop, because that'll just mess everything up. You want to go in front of this loop, bring it down, and I realized why I was tying it so loose. It's because this cheek piece here, or the underneath piece, was way over here. You want to make sure that that's in the middle of the neck so that it fits snugly. I've figured out the error of my ways. Like I said, point back towards their hip. If you were to go forward, this little slack piece is going to be pointing at their eye. Again, you don't want that. So you're going to take it, go back, behind the loop, through the loop you just made, and pull tight. And then you'll take your slack and go through the cheek piece. Now obviously if you don't have a lot of slack, like this, it goes out to like there and that's it. Like, Bugs, move your head. Like it goes out like maybe an inch or two. Obviously you're not going to be able to get it underneath the chin piece. So yeah, I hope that helps, guys. If you have any other questions about rope halters, go ahead and ask. I'll answer them as soon as I possibly can. Bugsy, you did very good. My good girl. So we're going to end it there, guys.